Hi, my name is Samat and welcome to How Jazz Guitar Knowledge Improves Your Guitar Skills. If you're not a jazz guitarist, but you've always wanted to jazz up your playing, keep watching this video. Here's 5 ways to improve your guitar skills using jazz guitar. Number 1, use the chord colors. Now, a lot of jazz guitar songs, they tend to be with 7 chords. You'll see major 7, dominant 7s, minor 7s, minor 7 flat 5s. A lot of times you're going to see not just minor 7s, for example. You're going to see minor 7s with 9s. You're going to see major 7s with 9s. You're going to see dominant 7s with 9 and 13s. So all these different chord colors add a lot of flavor, add a lot of different kind of moods to the chords. So when you learn some jazz guitar songs, jazz guitar pieces, jazz guitar chords, those chord colors are things that you can use in your own playing when you play R&B, when you play neo soul, when you play pop. And sometimes it depends on context. If you write film music, you might want to use some of those jazz chords in your own music, even if you're not playing jazz pieces. So check it out. When you play those jazz songs, jazz chords that you're learning, use those chord colors in your own music. They may fit and they may make it sound even better. Now, number 2, use chromatics. Now, if you check out any bebop song, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, when he played bebop, and even later on, you listen to some of the funk guys, fusion guys, they use a lot of chromatics. So you might see something that's just like D minor 7, but suddenly like, why are they using every single note? And all these chromatics add a lot of color. Chromatic is chroma is color, and colors make your playing more interesting rather than if you just use just the, so to say, the correct scale. So it's good to learn jazz to see how this kind of chromatics are used in a musical way. So that's how you can use those ideas as well, and those work really well in like certain kinds of R&B, certain kinds of like rock playing where you want it a little bit more bite. Chromatics are great, and jazz is a great way to learn that. Adapt the chord progressions. There are so many pop, R&B, and neo soul pieces where they're actually portions or fragments, or sometimes just downright just like jazz chord progressions. And those jazz chord progressions are adapted and used in fragments for these pop songs, for these R&B songs, for the neo soul songs. And so once you start playing some jazz, you start realizing, wait a sec, the Stevie Wonder thing, it's kind of jazz. It's R&B stuff, kind of jazz. And it's not to say that I'm not saying jazz is better than all the styles of music. I'm just saying that there is a history of really complex, interesting chord progressions that you can adapt, and you can see the lineage. You can tell when you see a good R&B player that has played some jazz. A lot of my favorite players that play blues, R&B, soul, neo soul, different styles of music, they learned some jazz and they took those concepts. Even like Nile Rodgers. If you check out Nile Rodgers, his interview, he's like this amazing funk. He played for Daft Punk. He's taking jazz chord progression ideas and he's using it in pop music. So there's always all these things you can use. Play the licks. Tons of times you'll see this. I keep saying neo soul, but a lot of the really fast neo soul licks that are like just double time or chromatic stuff are really just jazz lines, bebop lines. Some of them come from the shred kind of rock idea with scalar sequence runs, Paul Gilbert kind of things. But there's a lot of, when it gets really chromatic, gets really interesting, a lot of it's coming from bebop, a lot of it's coming from like really coming from jazz, like different periods of jazz. So when you learn those licks, jazz licks, you can actually start applying them in different styles, in different proportions. Understand the theory. So when you start learning jazz, there's a lot of theory that you could learn. And by understanding the theory, understanding extended dominance, understanding like modal interchange as used in jazz, understanding all these different concepts, modes and scales and substitutions and reharmonization, sub-fives. There's a lot of theory, And the theory, if you understand it and you can use it in your R&B playing, in your rock playing, in your pop playing, you can use it in the right proportions. You use it too much, it actually becomes jazz. But you use it in a little bit, you'll have a little jazz flavor, and that makes it kind of interesting at the right spot. So you have to be musical. You have to be like kind of smart about it, and that you kind of learn that by transcribing, by learning, by applying it. But there's a lot that you can use in different styles, even if you don't play jazz. Now this is a summary. So number 1, remember, use the chord colors that you learn in jazz. You can use the chromatics, make your playing more colorful. Adapt the chord progressions. Take jazz chord progressions and use it in your own playing, in your own songs that are not jazz. Play the licks. Take those licks and use it. Experiment. Stretch it out. Tons of stuff you can use. Understand the theory. When you understand the theory, you can apply it to your own music, whatever style, whatever thing you're doing. Even if you check out the new Mateus Asado thing, he's doing a jazz thing. It's on Jam Track Central. You can check it out. It's jazz. He's doing a jazz thing now, and it's just kind of an exploration. He went through the whole R&B thing. He went through like neo soul thing, and now he's getting some jazz ideas, and it's useful. It's really useful stuff. So, if you want to level up your jazz guitar skills, if this all sounds interesting and you want to get more out of it, you want to get more ideas, you can actually get my new book, 60 Minor Pentatonic Jazz Guitar Licks. It's one of my 4 books on jazz guitar licks. I have Jazz Guitar Licks 1 and Jazz Guitar Licks and Etudes 1 and 2 books. And I have this one, 60 Minor Pentatonic Jazz Guitar Licks, and also I have another one called 60 Beginner Jazz Guitar Licks. But if you want to get 60 Minor Pentatonic Jazz Guitar Licks, the link is here, bit.ly/asamadpent, and I'll post the link in the description and also in the comment section. So again, thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Be coming up with more lessons, more ideas, more concepts for you guys. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to my page if you're watching this on YouTube, or like my page if you're watching this on Facebook, and leave a comment or questions below. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day.